Ta-da! 2 hours, 2 hours later. Two hours, guys. Oh. Now you know why I'm all scruffy and stuff. This is the frustrations of never having enough time to deal with your stuff. But I got the nut back on there, got the strings on there. This was the worst guitar string change I've ever done in my life. I don't even know if I want to even attempt to tune this thing up today. But what I'll probably do is I'm going to tune it up to standard pitch, and then I'm going to drop it down to drop C sharp, and then I'm going to capo it and see how it works, because if it works good at that, I don't mind playing with the capo on the second fret for most songs for this show anyway, because I really love to not have the action bow, especially in this humidity. I did get the action pretty low when I fixed the bridge, so as a playing guitar it's pretty good, but I'll have to fix it's this string right here. Or, sorry, this string right here on the G string here. The drone on the G string. That's the one that will go out of intonation. The rest of the strings will intonate, but that one, when you lower your bridge, you don't have enough tension on the bridge for it, and you don't have enough bridge length to get the tension. So what happens is you can never intonate it. Like, you can tune it open and it'll be in tune, but you either have to play with the guitar, the G strings slightly out of tune from each other to have it tune when you're playing fretted, or tuned open, and then every time you press that string it's slightly out of tune, and you can't get it close enough where it's just like a little wave. It's like, no, that's out of tune. That sounds horrible. Because you can tune a 12 string pretty interestingly if you tune it just a little bit out from string to string. You get a bit of a natural phaser sound. It's tricky to do. It's something I would do in a recording studio, not something I do live. Live, no, I want everything on perfect pitch, because it's too hard to mess around with stuff like that live. But what I'm going to do is do it in drop. I want to do this guitar in drop C, actually, because drop C is one of my favorite tunings. And just capo it. But I'll put it in drop C sharp and see how it does, and then I'll try it in drop C, and if it's just way too buzzy and if the action's way too low, then I can't do it like that. Fine, I'll go up to drop C, or I'll go a half step low and capo at the first fret. I prefer to have the guitar normally tuned fully to full pitch, but with the show coming up, it's kind of a bit of a weird show. I'm not saying it's a karaoke show, but the guy that's going to be singing, he can play guitar, and I'm trying to encourage him for us to just do the acoustic thing, but he has a show that he's been doing for years, and the way he does it is he has the actual, you might as well call it karaoke, but he has the actual tracks, original tracks, that he sings along with for like Johnny Cash and Elvis and stuff like that. So the songs I'm going to be doing, obviously, no, I'm doing acoustic guitar and vocals. That's it, because that's more my thing. Like, you don't know, well, until we get together, we won't know what's going to work and what's not. But I got at least a bunch of songs to learn for him, which means that's less songs for me to worry about playing. And if they do 20 songs and I do 10, that's going to be like all I have to do is remember 10 lyrics. Then I get to pick 10 really good songs, but I have to pick songs that are kind of compatible with what they're doing, because I tend to be raunchy. The other option is, okay, well, I'll either open up for him and whatever, or I can close out the show. Because, like, I prefer that we all jam together, not jam, but have a well-rehearsed show and whatever. Because I don't know if I like the idea of playing, like, to sing over backing tracks is one thing, but to play over them, I know a lot of singers do this live on stage and stuff like that. And I'll try it just to say I tried it. And I'll see if I like it. I don't think I'm going to, well, I don't want to say I don't think I'm going to like doing that, because I'll feel like I'm cheating. You know what I mean? It's like, I want to dazzle you with my playing. I'm a firm believer that an instrument, especially a guitar, can stand on its own, that you don't need a full band on it. If you have acoustic guitar, you have everything. You have the band. If you have vocals and acoustic guitar, you have the band. That's kind of where I'm at mentally. But I'm not one of those people that, well, I'm not doing this no matter what. It's going to be more their show anyway. So I could either play it or not, right? So I'd rather play it, but what I'm going to do is say, okay, well, we'll do most things your way, but I'm going to do this little instrumental here, little instrumental break here, maybe this song and this song and this song that I'll just do either by myself, or if you guys want to join in with the vocals, that'd be great. But what I'd really like them to do is play his other guitar, and I'll say, okay, well, I'll do leads on this or the mandolin, and like just give people that, because okay, it won't be exactly like the original, because I don't really do that anyway. I tend to go more, make the song my own. So if he's willing to do that, then and play his guitar, he doesn't have to do anything complicated. He could just play what he knows, and whatever, and I'll do all the fancy stuff. But that's the thing, I do a lot of fancy stuff. So what I'm thinking is this guitar, the other acoustic, you probably can't see it there, but I got to restring that one too. God knows how old those strings are. That one I'll probably play around with different tunings for different songs. But I want to know what songs exactly that we're doing. So I've got about 12 songs that he threw at me this morning. I called him up and I said, what songs do you want me to learn? You know what I mean? Like, and he's like, oh, I could do this, I could do that. I said, yeah, but I need specifics, right? So he's like, okay, well, I'd like to do this one, this one, this one. And he gave me about 12 songs. I'm like, well, give me more. Like, if he wants to sing the whole show, I'm completely okay with that. But I also, on the other hand, the way I'm looking at it is, I don't mind if he sings the whole show, but it doesn't sound like he wants to do that. He wants to really shake it up. You do some, him and Amanda are going to do a couple, and maybe Amanda and I'll do a couple, and it'll be like this, show within a show within a show kind of thing. So he goes, people like that, the variety of it. So I'm like, okay, well then we're going to have to plan out exactly what we're going to do, because we have a month. Now, a month is not a lot of time to prepare for a show, but am I doing for time here? Yeah, I'm doing okay. It's enough time if you can play your set list. Let's say you're doing 3 hours or 3 set lists, about 3 hours worth, right? You do, like, I'm going to be following his lead because he's going to be providing the PA and everything like that and whatever. So I want to like accommodate as much as I can. But when I do my stuff, I want to just let loose. It's like, okay, stand back, watch this, but I also want it to fit within the themes of what we're doing. So if he's doing Elvis and, what do you call it? Johnny Cash predominantly and stuff like that, and Waylon Jennings and Willie Nelson and Chris Christopherson, stuff like that. I have no problem with that, but now I need to know exactly what songs he wants, which we got probably half of them down. And then if he picks like 20 songs or 30 songs, I'd, like that'd be fantastic. Pick all the songs. I'll just learn those. Because he already has the lyrics down. The lyrics is what takes you a long time. So 30 days, like when I'm at work, for example, I'm going over the set list in my head. So let's say I'm on the lawn tractor. Okay. If I'm lucky enough to be a lawn tractor day, and I'm going to be on the lawn tractor for an hour. Well, as soon as I start mowing, I obviously have to pay attention to what I'm doing, but I start singing the song lyrics in my head, song after song after song after song. So I got the lyrics just ingrained in my head. And then if I can play, even if I don't do it on my acoustic guitars because of the volume, grab one of my electric guitars and just, while I'm, watching TV, play a song, go through it. And let's say you do a set list each night. So about an hour each night. Okay. For a month. Yeah, you'll do that. And then maybe the last 2 weeks you do twice a week, you do the full set list, right? Even if you're not the one singing, like you do all your parts and everything like that. So that's how I prepare for a show. Now, mind you, 30 days is a long time to prepare for a show for somebody like me. For somebody that's new, that might not be enough time. What I would recommend, if it's your first time playing live, especially if you're going to be playing for 3 hours, the trick to pulling it off is you can't, if you're one of those people, and this is what happens to newbies, I'll just wrap it up quickly, is what happens is they're like, oh geez, what if I forget a lyric on the stage? This, that's not nervousness. That means you don't know your songs that you're doing well enough. And I know when you rush a song, how it comes out live, that's when you always make the mistakes. You're like, yeah, I got it down good enough. No, you don't. Like you can't even question. Like you should be able to call up the lyrics as soon as you think of the song. Every lyric should already be in your head. Now, if we're talking 30 songs to learn, you know what I mean? But I also told him, I said that I can lighten the load a lot too because of such a short thing. I could do maybe 4 or 5 instrumentals amongst this to break it up. Then, okay, you know, let's say we can't, like, he's like me, he's like, okay, I know all these songs, but I'm kind of out of practice. That's usually the key. And that's usually the key with me. It's like, okay, I know probably about 1,000 songs, but I haven't been practicing them. You really have to ingrain it in you. Practice, practice, practice. But getting everything ready, I know with changing the strings now, you'd say, well, in a month, those strings aren't going to sound good. Yeah, they are, because most of my playing is not going to be on this guitar for the practice. It's going to be on the guitars with the dead strings. You know, I'll play this maybe once a week, so enough to stretch it so that it stays in tune perfectly when I'm playing live, but not enough that it's going to, you know, dull the strings. But anyway, I'll make a part 2 here.